Hi everyone. So welcome to our next video in our series of building logic. So in this particular video we're going to have a look at methods and functions. So this you must have come across already in some other context. However, it's very important before we start lead code or any other platform that we understand this concept of methods and functions. So usually in Java, what happens? So we have a package. Inside a package, we have a class. Inside a class, we have a method, and inside method is what we write everything. So let's start with this. Let's say I write a class, I compile and I run it. This is the output I need, which means I need read for 1 to 3 times. So what is the probable code that I can write? So please pause the video, write the code on your own and see if you are able to get this output. I'm sure majority of you must have got this. What did we do? So we declared the class, we declared the main method, and we have declared a variable color with the data type string, and then we passed read double quotes because every time we use a string data type we send the data in the double quotes. Now int n is equals to 3. So for int I is equals to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, SOP is color. Since n value is 3, so it is printing us for 3 times. Okay, now let's say now I need a different output. So I need red for 3 times, and let's say I need blue for 5 times now. So what should I do now? So it's very simple. So I will declare one more string, and let's say I'll call it color1, and this time let's say I'm going to send the value as 5 and declare it as n1 because n is already taken. Now I'm writing the loop again and I'm passing color 1. So I got blue for 5 times. Now let's say I need some other data. So which means I need red for 3 times, I need blue for 5 times, and let's say I need white for about 8 or 9 times. Now what do? I'm going to write one more loop. So for int I is equals to 0, n2, and I'm going to have it as 9 and pass white and write it. Now imagine when we are dealing with hundreds of data objects and all, so this is not the most feasible. So we cannot write 100 for loops for each color. So what is the other alternative that we have? We can simply direct create a method, and we can keep calling that method instead of writing a loop for every different color. Now what do? So please pay attention here. So public static void main string args. So within the main method I have called a method named color, and what am I sending to that? I'm sending color red, and I'm sending it for 3 times. Now where am I defining color? I'm defining it inside my class but not inside my method. Okay, so I'm passing 2 parameters for it. So one is string s and another is int n. So I'm sending across 3 parameters, one of type string, so for which I have sent red, and another of integer n, hence I have sent a number. Now what is the code that I have written inside the color? I have written a for loop. Okay, so this is how you start writing methods. Now please pause the video. So write the code, compile it, run it, and see what is happening. So if you compile it, you will actually get a error. What does the error say? Invalid method declaration, written type required, which means whenever you write a method, I need something to return. Otherwise, what is the purpose of writing a method? So I already told you, the more errors you come across, the better your learning is going to be. So what is it saying? I need a return type. Okay. Now what did I do? I have written void. Now is the issue fixed? No. The issue is still not fixed because we have one more new error now. What is that one more new error? Non-static method color cannot be referenced from a static context. Now you please understand, some versions of Java you might not get this error. So in some versions you might get this error. In any case, I wanted to just cover it once. So what is it trying to say? You know what, this method is not static, but you are trying to call that from a static method, so which cannot be connected. So how do I fix that? By making this method also static. So what is it trying to say? That I have a static method. Inside a static method I am calling a method, and whatever I am calling from static should also be static, otherwise I cannot talk to it. Okay. Now you see we printed 3 times. Why did we print 3? Because we were trying to print n. And if I want red, what should I do? I should simply print S. So what is happening? The red I am passing here is going into S. 3 I am passing here is going into N. So if I want red, I will write S here. If I want only N, I'll say 3 here. Okay. So likewise, I wanted blue for some 5 times and white for some 9 times. So what should I do? So I'm just going to call the method again and again instead of writing all this code and declaring multiple variables for each color. So I'm just going to call the method here. So color red 3, color blue 5, color white 9. So each time this will go, give the values, finish off running this method and then come back to main method. And then again it sees method being called, again it will go back. Okay. So this is how we would be writing the code. Okay. Now you see that we have a method color and we are not sending any parameters here. What do you think? This is going to run or give you an error? So please pause, think for a minute and see. See, this has given us red. So why did this give us red? Because we have directly put it in SOP as red. Here I do not have any argument, so I don't need to have any parameters. Let's say if I have one argument here, then I need one parameter here. If I have 2 arguments here, I need 2 parameters here. If I have 0 arguments here, I can have 0 parameters here. Okay. Next. The same thing. Now please notice, I have this as void, my return type. Hence I have written SOP and other things. Now I am directly using this keyword return and I am sending red. Anything in double quotes, you must know it is a string. So whenever you want to directly return the data type, you just need to mention the data type here and use the keyword return. Okay. And here also you see I'm actually calling inside SOP. Now if I want a number, then I will make this as integer and call it as return and return the number. So again I've come back to void, which means I'm going to use SOP here and I'm not going to use SOP here. Now let's say I have 3 methods being called. Okay, color which is blue, color 1 which is orange, color 2 which is green. So if I want different colors, I just have to call those methods. That's all. For blue I need to call color, and for orange I got to call color 1, and for green I got to call color 2. That is all. Now when I want a different order, okay, so let's say instead of blue, orange and green, so let's say I want something like blue, green, orange. So what should I do? Color, color 2, color 1. Let's say you can pause the video and try. I want this output. I want orange first, blue next, green later. So what should my order be? Where is orange? Color 1. So this is going to be my first. Where is blue? Color. This is going to be my second. Where is green? Last one. So in the same order I'll have to call. Okay, so in the order that you call, your output will resonate with the same. Now, so I have sent a parameter here, string s, which means whenever I call this method color, I need to send some argument which is of string data type. Okay, so let's say if I have integer n here, then what should I send here? I must send a number here, something like this. Now I have the parameter here, but I do not have anything here. So what do you think is going to happen? So is it going to print something, or is it just going to say null, or is it going to pop the error? So pause for a minute, think and see for yourself by executing it. See, you got an error. So what does the error say? Method color in class methods1 cannot be applied. Why? Because a string is required and you are not sending any arguments. So it cannot work like that. So we already discussed, if one parameter it is expecting, then I'll have to send one argument from here. If I have two parameters here, I need to have two arguments from here. So please spend some time on this video. This is a very important video before we actually move to the lead code questions. Okay, how do we use methods? How do we actually separate our code from main into different methods, and void what happens, different data types what happens. Okay, so thank you for watching, but do solve all of this.